is as Toyo sees, and my name is Toyo Phillips. Welcome to As Toyo Sees. My name is Toyo Phillips. As Toyo Sees is a talk show that addresses a variety of social issues, from the serious to the amusing, the sad, and even the controversial. My guests and I will speak on these issues and share candid experiences that have shaped how we see things. It's time for me to introduce my guest of the day, and she is one with tons and tons of ideas. I'm talking about founder and head mixologist at Bar Venture Elixirs, Wendy Chiyem Abah. Welcome to the show.
Hi.
How are you? Thank you for being here. A little background on Wendy. Like I said, every time we talk, she has a new idea, a new business idea. She's talking about, oh, do you think we should do this? Or don't you think we should do that? Or don't you think we should do this? Oh, I saw this somewhere. How about if we add stuff like that? And I was just thinking, this is like the burden of ideas. I don't know how to tag it, because all the ideas seem so good. And I thought to talk to her about it, because now she's finally zoned on or zoned into one. Yes, and we'll talk about that. But first off, where do your ideas come from?
God. I think God, because many times they are quite effortless, like it's just something that's in my head, and then I see something, even if it has nothing to do with me, like someone is talking to me about their business and I just can think of 2-3 ways for them to do better or for them to stand out. So it also has to do with creativity. Like if you're creative, you see things in a different way, and I think that's one of my very strong points.
So what do you do with all these ideas?
I write them down. And
you do?
I do. I write them down, and then, over a few years, I think I've only had 2 ideas that have occurred more than once. So those are the ones I feel like I ought to work with or focus on.
Yeah, I feel like every time, because we're friends, we're really good friends, and every time we speak, there's something somewhere. So does this happen? How often does this happen? This whole burst of ideas?
I don't know. Well, often enough.
Every night, maybe you just wake up and see a writing on the wall, or you dream
and
you're flying a ship or something.
I think it really has to do with my mood. It depends on how I'm feeling. So if I'm super excited and I'm always thinking of my future. So if I'm thinking of what to do, to blow, for instance, all these things just come. So sometimes I'm actually trying to focus better on one idea, and then others come in. And it's just like, okay, wait, calm down. Let me focus on this first. So I write it down. And then eventually, if it occurs to me again to go back to my notepad to check, I would look at these things and, try and figure out what it is. And in recent times, I started giving my ideas to people. So sometimes people don't know what they want to do, but they talk to me and they're, oh, look, you have solid ideas, And I'm like, oh, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? And then because I've thought about it more than once, I actually have something that they can work with. So,
are these ideas things you're passionate about, or you just use the word blow? I hate that word. I hate that word, because I feel like a lot of Nigerians, that's their goal in life. I don't know who. I think it was Auntie Betty Rabo, who said she went to a salon and she was talking to, I think, the person washing her hair or something, and she just decided to strike a conversation with the girl, and she asked the girl, like, so what do you want to be, or what do you want to do? The girl said, Auntie, I just want to blow. And she said that was the end of the conversation. What conversation do you have with someone who wants to blow? So please, that word blow, yes. No, but back to the ideas.
I can't help. I'm going to say it. So
you have to blow.
I want to blow. I'm going to keep saying it. So your question.
Are there ideas you're passionate about?
No, not always. Sometimes they're just ideas I think are good. Doesn't mean that I actually want to work with them. I just think it's a good idea. Sometimes, most of the time, I'm really not interested. So thankfully, my business is one of the ideas that I'm quite passionate about. And I found that from starting with one idea that I was passionate about and, like being able to execute it, it brought a whole lot more ideas under the same umbrella. So now most of my ideas are based on the industry that I'm currently working in. And, you know, so we have it.
And some of your ideas to blow plan, and some of your ideas are also based on stuff happening, because I remember the Ebola time, you were all about sanitizers. But lots of people.
Correction.
But it was actually, before the Ebola started. Yes, before that Ebola
some
thing.
People can hold you down. So I think one thing I've learned is I need to do a lot of research before I actually talk to people about my ideas. Talking about this hand sanitizer thing, 2011, that was when I was very interested in this. I registered a company, got a business name, had a logo, got samples from different parts of the world, to manufacture hand sanitizer, gave my business plan to people, and everybody was like, it's a good idea, but, do your NYSC, but, don't you think you're too young? And I think that I really depended on people at that time, because I knew that I was clueless, and I didn't really have business experience. I had worked like internship when I was in uni, but that was it, So I really depended on people who I thought were solid guys, to push me, but everybody was saying the same thing. It was like, so your success has to do with the age that you start. And as far as everyone was concerned, I was too young. I was 20. So, I just decided to relax, and Ebola came and everybody was calling me, how far did you really push? I said, push how? So after that, I decided that I wasn't going to talk too much about some certain things. I was just going to make sure that everything was in place, and if I felt strongly about it, I was going to follow it up.
Coming up on As Toyo Sees.
Registering a business and all of that doesn't exactly mean that, you have an idea for your business, but over time, different things would come under that business as well. So if I patent one idea now, what if I don't want to run with it anymore?
Taking a break, and we'll be right back.
Welcome back to As Toyo Sees. I'm speaking with Wendy about the burden of the many ideas. So do you get to share some of the ideas you've had over the years? Just a few. And don't share the ones that you still plan to do, so no one steals it.
Okay, we've already talked about hand sanitizer.
Don't be shy.
I really can't talk about anyone because I don't know I can still do it. So yes, hand sanitizer, anyone can ride with that now, because I think that I still have an idea that nobody has thought about.
Okay. So
yes.
in Nigeria, how is it patenting your ideas? Or can you patent an idea? Because I don't even know how that works.
I'm sure you can, but I've never tried to. Yeah. I just feel like even if I think about it and anyone else does, it will still be different. Right. So I've never really thought about it.
I feel like for you to make it legal or make it official, you actually have to have like a plan or something.
It's all under the business, so registering a business and all of that doesn't exactly mean that, you have an idea for your business, but over time, different things would come under that business as well. So if I patent one idea now, what if I don't want to run with it anymore? It's like, or what if by the time I'm ready, it's now boring to me, or is now, irrelevant, and then I've never tried to, I don't.
Okay, but have you ever had any idea where have you ever had any idea that you saw someone execute before you? Like a true story, some guy said he heard a voice, and this was, I think, in a church group. So he said he heard a voice, and to him it was the Holy Spirit telling him to start selling water in nylon bag. And he was like, how can I be selling water inside nylon? What's that? He said, could it be that in less than 1 year, pure water became the new business? Well, like people were building mansions and making so much money off it, and he just regretted not doing it. Has that ever happened to you?
No.
You've not had any idea that somebody else has
I think my only regret slash delay was the
Sanitizer.
and Ebola time. And even at that time, when everybody was springing up different types of hand sanitizer, nobody brought the idea that I was working
Yours
with.
was actually different. It wasn't the same kind of sanitizers.
Yes.
I'm not allowed to speak.
Thanks.
But I sold sanitizers. Everyone sold sanitizers during Ebola.
Still, it wasn't, nobody has come up with that, which is actually still something that I'm holding dear to me.
Right.
So,
okay, so let's talk about this current business that you have. I see it's growing. It's Bar Venture Elixirs. So it's a
mobile bar company, cocktails,
Okay.
mocktails, tea, coffee. You know, now we manufacture paper straws as well, customizable, eco-friendly paper straws.
okay.
Had to put that out there.
So of course there were other mobile bars before you started
Plenty.
yours. Yeah. So how did you differentiate yourself? And why did you choose something that there were tons of people already doing?
Before I started working for myself, I used to brand manage Remy Martin in Nigeria. So I kind of already had a very solid idea about the drinks industry, and then I knew that it was something that I was quite passionate about because there's a whole lot to learn, and you know, there's always something for you to do different. So starting a mobile bar was, you know, it was quite interesting to me because I knew that when I was brand manager, sometimes people ask for this service instead of us just bringing drinks or, you know, sponsoring at events. So we had trainings, you know, we trained bartenders in Nigeria, stuff like that. So I was able to learn one or two things, and I found that it was something that I never got tired of doing. So one, I realized that I was passionate about it. And then I always had it in the back of my head that I wanted to work for myself. I wanted a job that was easy for me to do, was going to allow me to be as creative as possible, and I wouldn't get tired of doing overtime. You know, so this naturally was just something that stuck in my head for a while. One of the ideas that didn't leave my head.
Recurring
you know.
ideas.
So I realized there were people that I saw doing, maybe at that time there wasn't like 2 or 3 people that I actually saw who were doing the business, but in all honesty, they never really appealed to me.
Right.
You know, like they just seemed like they were setting, like they were beverage caterers. They didn't come across to me as mixologists, or you know, like they weren't doing anything quite exciting.
Just Chapman.
I'm sure they were doing other colors and things, but I just, you know, wasn't really interested.
Right.
Or, you know, so when I started my own, I really tried to push my creativity forward, you know, so from bar decor to how I garnish my drinks or how I brand my glasses, you know, I really tried to be as creative as possible. So if I like to paint, if I like to draw, I was doing all of that on my bar. You know, I was doing a lot of DIY. Gosh, I did a lot of DIY.
Right.
And then, you know, but the thing is, I never really focused on this, even though it was what I was doing, I never really focused on it full time. So in the space of not focusing 100% on my business and doing half and half,
Yeah.
people were springing up.
Right.
So I started my business officially in 2015, but you know, I think that I'm now blowing now. but yeah, so like there's now, I mean, maybe when I started, there was like 6 or 7 people that I knew who were in the business and had been in the business for some time, and now there's like over 100. You know,
In the business?
yes,
Oh, wow.
you know, a new Instagram account follows me every day.
And it's
you
a mobile
know,
bar.
It's a mobile bar, something cocktails and something, you know, something services. There's even another elixirs.
Oh.
Something elixirs, you know, I was like, oh wow, why are you even sharing name now? You know? But yeah, I mean, so
Yeah.
it's actually been fun.
Okay.
It's actually, you know, and then I find that there's still ideas in the same industry that keep coming to my head, and they are actually quite executable. Is that English?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So
Okay, so my friend's younger sister came to meet me, and she was talking about how she has this cupcake company now. So she does cupcakes, and they're cute cupcakes and tasty cupcakes, all of that. But she says that at the same time she was getting the ideas for cupcakes, she was getting the idea to be a makeup artist. And now her cupcake business is not really, it hasn't blown.
thank you.
Since we're using blown today, her cupcakes business hasn't blown, and she's sort of regretting, like she wishes she had focused more on the makeup side. So first question, Does that happen to you? Do you think about other ideas you haven't executed? And no, you don't?
This is my most passionate idea ever.
Right.
You know, so if I'm ever thinking of any idea that I haven't worked on yet, or I'm delaying, it still has to do with the beverage industry.
Right.
It's just something that, okay, I need to start this now, but everything happens alongside. There's no stopping this to start this, you know.
Okay, so second question, is it advisable to tell her to do both? I mean,
she can try. She can try. I don't really know about makeup and cupcakes. I mean, for me, my business is, for instance, weekends. It's now that we're trying to do things 9 to 5 because we're bringing other aspects of the business to life. So if you're going to bake if you have a space where you're baking cupcakes, you know, and you're going there every day, does it mean that you cannot advertise yourself as a makeup artist? I understand that makeup is usually weekends and stuff like that. If you're baking cakes, you know, at some point your cakes are going to be in the oven. So can you do makeup at the same, you know, like, I'm just saying, I really don't know, but she can always try. Does she really just bake cakes from morning till night? Don't her cakes have to go out?
Well, they go out, so it's part of the whole cake thing. Like,
so is she the only one?
I think she has 2 people working for her, I'm not sure.
So I mean, if she can take a day off where she's just doing makeup, figure out if it's something that she really wants to do, you know. Okay,
so we have to go on another short break. When we get back, I'll be talking to Wendy about ideas. Can they ever be too small? We'll be right back.
Coming up on As Toyo Sees.
My ideas have nurtured in the sense that I always try to find, or I always have something new to do still on the same idea.
Taking a break and we'll be right back.
Welcome back to As Toyo Sees. I'm still here with Wendy and we're talking the burden of ideas, and she was talking about her mobile bar that she runs, and also about ideas and how to handle multiple ideas. So your opinion is, if someone has more than one, they can actually work on more than one at a time?
So.
More than 2?
I don't know. But I mean, you might as well want to try before you just write it.
Well, you know how they say jack of all trades, master of
is
none.
Not all trades. 2 ideas is not all trades.
2 ideas is 2 trades.
Yes. You know, there are people who are caterers and, you know, they're doing cocktails as well. That's 2 things. So.
Or like fitness trainers and nutritionists.
Well,
but I find that would work, and correct me if I'm wrong, but that would work for things that are compatible. Like, you now produce straws, eco-friendly straws.
Thank you.
And she says thank you. And you also run a mobile bar. So it's still in the same field. Exactly. So not cupcake and makeup. I don't know how to advise such a person.
I don't know. But she should find a way to try. I just think that she should find a way to try. If cupcakes happen every day, I mean, people usually tend to beat their faces weekends, or, you know, so if she can take, like I said, maybe take one day off where she's just doing makeup or she advertises and then does makeup for 2 people or 3 people and realizes that it's something that she can find time to do alongside making her cupcakes, then fine. If it doesn't work for her, she should pick one. That's what I think anyways.
Right. So is any idea too small?
It depends. There's some ideas that are just ideas, they don't grow from there. So those, I think, can be too small. If you just have an idea to make this type of flowers, for instance, forever, you know, you're not going to think of doing a different style.
What's wrong with these flowers?
Maybe a different color.
These flowers are cute.
Like, sometimes you have to work with what people need. So your idea, I think, has to be adjustable.
Okay.
You know, so.
And ideas evolve, do you think?
Well, mine has. So yes, I would think so. You know, so if you think your idea is too small, you have to find a way to grow it. And if you can't find a way to grow it, then I don't think that you should focus on it. Personally, don't be angry.
Okay, so how have you nurtured your own ideas?
My ideas for my business.
For your business, for your current business. How did you nurture it?
Well, I found there's always something to learn, one. So from mobile bar to, I started a blog at some point, which is coming back up, where it's like I think it was Nigeria's first beverage-based blog. So we're talking about beverage events, we're talking about the art of, or the science
Mixing
of alcohol
stuff.
and all of that. We're talking about everything. So
wait, sorry, did you say the science of alcohol?
Yeah.
There's a
chemistry
science.
and mixing.
There's a science. Wow. Okay.
So don't look down on that.
No.
But yes, so there's always something that I find that I can do to teach people. So first off, there's this stigma in Nigeria that all of us that are in this drink business, we're alcoholics, we're irresponsible. You can't be a Christian and then you're serving alcohol, So that I have tried to change since I started this. I'm very active in church, I'm very this, but I'm not getting anybody drunk, which is actually what I find is the sin. So if my ideas have nurtured in the sense that I always try to find, or I always have something new to do still on the same idea. First, cocktails, it started with just trying to garnish my drinks differently and decorating my bar differently. Then you have to build a new bar, you have to do something, just something that keeps people excited in your business or people coming back. So you're offering it's like every other business, you're offering something new to somebody else. So from the blog to the straws, there's other things that will come eventually, but it's an idea that is evolving.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. We have to go on a short break now. When we get back, you'll be getting my final thoughts. This is As Toyo Sees.
We're taking a break and we'll be right back.
Welcome back to As Toyo Sees, and this is the segment where you know what I am seeing. So we've been talking about the burden of ideas, and I personally feel no idea is too small. I feel like every idea is a seed, and seeds should be nurtured. And as with seeds, there are some good ones and there are bad ones. So you have to know, okay, is this worth pursuing? Is this worth following up? Is this worth discussing with anybody? I'd also say that your ideas should be shared with the right people, because a lot of people are idea killers. So you have a big business idea in your head and you don't know what to do. You talk to one person and the person says, no, Joy, it can never work. And then tomorrow you see somebody doing the exact thing and it's working for them. You feel terrible. So know who you surround yourself with. Make sure you're feeding yourself with the right information and the right energy. And also treat an idea like a pregnancy. You don't want to push it out too early. So you have this brilliant idea. You feel like, hey, because I got it today, I must execute it tomorrow. No, relax, okay? Relax, nurture that idea, feed it properly so that when it comes out, when you give birth to it, it is ready for the world and the world is ready for it. And that is As Toyo Sees. Thank you for being on the show, Wendy.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you guys for watching. Stay engaged with the show by following us on social media at As Toyo Sees on Twitter and Instagram. Make someone's life better today. See you next time. Bye.
This is As Toyo Sees, and my name is Toyo C. Phillips.
Thank you for watching.